What NASA hid in the lost transmission from Voyager 6. In 1989, something strange happened deep in the silence of space. It wasn't made public, not even to most NASA staff. Voyager 6, a spacecraft sent out to study the outer planets, had gone dark months earlier. It was supposed to be lost, just another silent object drifting through the stars. But then, on a quiet September night, a strange signal came back. One that no one expected. One that changed everything. The signal wasn't like anything they had heard before. It didn't come in standard code. It wasn't data from any planet or asteroid. The first people to hear it were in a low-security monitoring station in Goldstone, California. A technician named Daniel Price was running a routine check when the alert popped up. He thought it was an error. Voyager 6 had stopped transmitting long ago. But the coordinates matched. The signal came from the exact path Voyager 6 would have followed, except it was millions of miles off course. At first, Daniel logged it and sent it up the chain. But the moment the higher-ups saw the transmission ID, things got strange. Within hours, government agents arrived at the site. Computers were taken. Phones were seized. Everyone was told not to speak of it again. Daniel was relocated, then vanished. He hasn't been heard from since. But here's where it gets even stranger. One file survived. A low-resolution copy of the audio signal was accidentally saved to an old backup server that hadn't been wiped. Years later, in 2003, a junior engineer named Alexei Monroe found it. It was labeled simply V6_RECV_unknown. When he played it, it didn't sound like static. It sounded like a voice. It was distorted and mechanical, but definitely not human. The words were slow and clear. And what it said made Alexei's blood run cold. "We have found your message. We are not what you think." That was it. Only 7 seconds. Then silence. Alexei didn't tell anyone. Not right away. But he started digging, quietly. He accessed Voyager 6's old data logs and found something even more shocking. Just before the spacecraft went dark, it had turned. Not just a small drift, but a massive shift in direction. Like it was being pulled. Its last known coordinates pointed toward an area of space with no known stars or planets. Just empty black. And then something impossible, a recorded change in time. One of Voyager 6's internal clocks, synced with Earth time, had a 6-minute gap, like it had jumped forward without explanation. No known physics could explain it. And yet, there it was in the data. Alexei took it to his supervisor, but instead of being praised, he was immediately silenced. Security agents showed up again. His credentials were revoked. Within days, Alexei resigned, fearing for his life. But he had already copied the files. He knew there was something more to the story, something buried by NASA and the US government. He began reaching out to former NASA engineers, using fake names and encrypted messages. Most ignored him. A few warned him to stop. But one person replied. An older man named Reuben Stokes. He said he used to work on deep space communications back in the 80s. He said he remembered the night the Voyager 6 signal returned. Reuben met Alexei in an abandoned gas station outside Nevada. He looked tired, older than his years, like he'd been carrying a weight for too long. What he told Alexei confirmed everything, and more. Reuben said the voice wasn't the only thing that came back. The full transmission had been over 4 minutes long. But after the first 7 seconds, something else played, a sound that wasn't a voice, but more like hundreds of overlapping frequencies, cycling through patterns too complex for human minds to understand. When they ran it through translation software, they found images. Real, visual data encoded inside. What they saw shook them to the core. The pictures showed Earth, but not as it is now. As it was, and as it might become. Cities underwater. Skies blackened. Human structures overgrown or destroyed. Then something even stranger, massive structures floating above Earth's surface. Not planes. Not satellites. Something else. Something alive. And then came the final image, a human face. But it wasn't anyone known. A woman with bright white eyes and no pupils, surrounded by glowing symbols. In the corner of the image, embedded in pixels, were coordinates. Deep in the Indian Ocean. NASA sent a private expedition there in 1991, disguised as a climate research mission. No public records exist of what they found. But Rubin said when the team returned, 3 crew members were missing. The rest wouldn't speak. One died under mysterious circumstances just weeks later. Alexei, now fully obsessed, went to the coordinates himself using a private charter. What he found confirmed the impossible. Deep below the ocean surface, sonar scans revealed a massive geometric shape buried beneath the sea floor. Perfect lines. Non-natural design. A structure, too massive to be human-made. But no one was allowed to explore further. Hours later, the boat was intercepted by an unmarked military vessel. The crew was questioned, and all equipment was taken. They were released only after signing strict non-disclosure agreements. Still, Alexei kept the sonar image. He sent it to trusted contacts, who confirmed it wasn't fake. That's when people started following him. Black SUVs parked near his apartment. His emails began disappearing. His phone rang at night, no one on the other end. The last message Alexei ever posted online was on a hidden forum. It said, Voyager 6 made contact. Not with aliens, but with something older. Something that knows us. And it's already here. Then he vanished, just like Daniel Price. Some believe Voyager 6 was never meant just to study planets. It was bait. A way to see if something out there would answer. And something did. But what NASA didn't expect was that the thing wouldn't just answer, it would come back. Since then, reports have surfaced from former intelligence officers claiming NASA created a secret department called Orion Division, designed solely to handle contact-related incidents. Files supposedly exist showing similar signals picked up in 1998, 2010, and even as recently as 2022. All suppressed. All unexplained. And here's the final twist. In early 2023, astronomers in South America picked up a faint echo signal coming from deep space. It matched the Voyager 6 transmission code. Except Voyager 6 would be far beyond the range of Earth by now. This new signal was coming closer, as if something was following the original path back. Scientists say it's probably just space noise. But a few think otherwise. One anonymous source from within the European Space Agency said the pattern looked like it was getting stronger. And more frequent. As if something is on its way. NASA hasn't made any statements. And Voyager 6 is still listed as lost. But if you ask the right people, they'll tell you, it's not lost. It's been found. And the thing that found it wants to return the message.